Wow, I just want to take a moment and acknowledge again how blessed and lucky I feel to have the opportunity that I do here on YouTube, the opportunity to speak to you guys, the opportunity to help build this cruising community. The opportunity, while fantastic, does come with some pitfalls, and I've had some interesting interactions on cruise ships with people, and most of the interactions are fabulous, but every once in a while they're not fabulous. So I want to tell you 3 stories about interactions I've had with people on the cruise ship. One interaction annoyed me, another interaction angered me, and the third interaction was just downright weird. People say some crazy stuff to you, even when they don't know you. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, and let's go. The annoying interaction I had was on my Alaska cruise with my friend Don Terrace, and it was a snowball of annoyance. The first annoyance, met this guy on the cruise ship who was a big fan of Don Terrace, like almost knocked me over to meet Don, which is good. I like that. There's some people that recognize me, there's some people that recognize Don, there's some people that recognize us both. That's all beautiful. But here's a pro tip. If you recognize Don and you don't recognize me, or if you recognize me and you don't recognize Don, you don't have to make that so public. So this guy gushes all over Don, and he looks at me and he says, "Hey, look, I don't watch any of your videos, like I'm not that interested in your channel, but I do have some questions about YouTube." And he starts peppering me with questions about YouTube. And so I'm like, wow, that was a great way to get me into the moment. But I answered his questions, and I thought that was that. Well, that wasn't it. He was also on our whale watching tour, and if you remember that video, that was the moment where we got to see stuff that a lot of people have never seen. We landed on a pod of orcas, and we had a really incredible commune with nature, touch of the divine type moment with orca. It was so awesome. But what you didn't get on the video was the audio of that experience, because I had to cut it out because Mr. I don't watch you, let me ask you some YouTube questions was not done with his YouTube questions. I'm hanging over the side of a boat trying to film orca, trying to be in the moment, and all I hear is like, "Hey man, what do you do for your music for YouTube? Where do you get that? How do you do your taxes? Does an accountant do your taxes? Are you able to write off all of your cruises? How much money do you make every month on YouTube? Is YouTube Luke?" Like, it was non-stop. Like, I don't want to play the guy's voice because I don't want anybody to identify him, but it was so frustrating when I got home to edit that video, and instead of just having the quiet majesty of nature and these orcas, it was all of that plus, bizarre YouTube questions. Now look, I'm happy to talk YouTube, but there's a time and place for everything. I think that's going to be the big theme of this video, a time and place for everything. That certainly wasn't it. That was super annoying. Now let me tell you about an interaction that angered me, but before I do that, let me quickly thank the sponsor of today's show, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for people who love to learn, people that are wanting to level up their skills, people that just want to delve a little more into their creativity. Whether it's animation, photography, illustration, graphic design, entrepreneurship, productivity, there's classes for everybody at Skillshare. Now, I just got back from the Grow with Video Live conference in Las Vegas, and a lot of the talk there was micro content, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok. And I'm not really great at that, so I'm using Skillshare this month to try to learn some more about micro content. Specifically, I'm working through this TikTok class by Taylor Loren. She's an expert in the space, as it were. That's the beautiful thing about Skillshare. Expert in the space, trying to learn how to make TikToks. Please follow us on Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. It's all Lido Loca. But yeah, Skillshare, another reason I love them, always a great offer for the Loca fam. And I'm going to give you serious voice, Tony, to tell you about this month's offer. First 1,000 people to use the link in the description or our code Lido Loca will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare to start unlocking your creativity today. Thank you, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video. All right, interaction numero 2, which was the one that angered me. Man, I met this nice guy on my Panama Canal cruise. Nice guy, great wife, a great couple. But the interaction turned weird. I hung out with this guy a lot in the casino, and we probably interacted 5 or 6 times, maybe more than that. But the challenge with the interaction was this. Every time that we would interact, the guy would complain about the shirt I was wearing. I like it better when you wear the floral shirts, but now you're wearing the t-shirts. And the first couple times I'm like, yeah, that's funny. I feel more comfortable in the t-shirts. I'm just chilling. This is just my vacation cruise. I'm just wearing a black t-shirt. I'm playing some craps. This is what I like to do. But it was like every interaction, look, this is the interaction that I want. Now that I've met you a couple times, hey, how you doing? How was your day? Did you get off at port? That kind of thing. No, every time I interacted with this guy, it was like, how come you're not wearing the floral shirt? I'm wearing a floral shirt. Why aren't you wearing a floral shirt? I saw your video yesterday from the ship. You didn't have the floral shirt on. Are you going to wear, like, time after time? And so finally it boiled to a head, and I got angry. I really try not to get angry, but hey, I'll admit it. I got angry. I was on the craps table. I had money on the craps layout. Look, if you're going to gamble with somebody, gambling is different than the rest of real life. There's money involved in it. Just be a gambler. If you're going to stand next to the table, the guy walks up, I'm gambling. Hey man, how's it going? Do you have a good day? Can I fit in here on the crap? Oh yeah, come on in. I got the guy onto the craps table, and I'm gambling, and like 2 seconds into the whole thing, he's like, oh, I know she got that black t-shirt on again, or oh, you didn't wear a floral shirt. I'm like, dude, you got to let it go. It like hit me in a way, right? You can only take so much. And I try my best to be like as chill as possible. And I finally looked at him and I said, man, I got to leave. I cashed out. I looked at the dealer, and the pit boss was like, man, you just got here. You love this. Why are you leaving? And I said, dude, I just got on the wrong shirt. I went full on sarcasm. I said, I don't have the right uniform to be at this craps table, apparently. And I just took my money and left. And so I think I left a bad taste in that guy's mouth. We had some awkward interactions for the rest of the cruise. But just, I'm not perfect, man. But honestly, I don't know how much of that I was supposed to deal with. I tried my best. I'm afraid that some of these interactions, I'll say it again, whatever you think you're going to get when you meet me, I'm doing my best. I'm just doing the best I can. And if it's good, that's awesome. If it's bad, I'm sorry. But I'm just a dude. Again, imagine if just strangers came up and talked to you that you don't know, that know you a little bit because you've shared with them. I think it's fantastic. I do my best to make those interactions as positive as possible. But if you meet me and you don't have the warm fuzzies, that's just because I'm a dude trying the best that I can. I apologize. And we don't have to talk about my clothes, okay? How about that? That one angered me to the point where I said something, and I feel bad about saying something, but I don't know how to fix that situation. But there's that. Now let me tell you about this situation that was downright weird. The wild thing for Jenny and I is we do live our lives in the public eye when it comes to cruising. We're recognized quite a bit. We know that. We're still people. We're still a couple in relationship trying to walk through life. And we had this interesting encounter at breakfast one day on our last cruise. We were having breakfast and we were trying to figure out, so we've been on this whirlwind travel, and we didn't have all of our plans settled for the end of the time. And we had to decide whether to book some hotels there, and we could not come to a consensus on that. And so we got a little tense with each other, like we were talking to each other sternly, and we weren't yelling or anything like that. But if you were observing our conversation, you could tell that we were a couple having a moment that couples do, looking at each other funny, giving those looks like, are you giving me a hard time, that kind of thing. And so that was happening during breakfast. And so we got through the conversation, and the cool thing about our relationship, and I hope everybody's relationship, is you work through it, right? At the end of the day, we are together. And so if the road is smooth, we're together on smooth roads. If the road is bumpy, we're together on bumpy roads. But at the end of the day, we're still in the convertible with the wind blowing our hair, right? So, but sometimes, that's life. You have these conversations. And so I don't even want to say we were arguing. It was intense. And then as we got up to leave, to go to the next thing, as we were leaving the buffet, some lady who I'd never seen, I don't think, she looks at me right in the eye and she goes, that there are no secrets in your life. Whatever you do, there are no secrets, or something like that. It was like really weird. It was like a very mystical type thing. But basically she was saying, there's no hiding from your life or whatever. I don't know what it was. So the challenge for us, and it was just weird. Like I was like, that's the weirdest thing anybody said to me. And that's what I said to her. I'm like, that's the weird, like, I have plenty of secrets. That's the weirdest thing that anybody's ever said to me. And then that was it. That was the interaction. But Jenny and I, in hindsight, as we talked about it, one of two things could have happened. So, and we'll let you guys decide. Do you think that she heard us have our tense conversation, or did she see us eating bacon? because, you know, there's a couple things that I've learned in life. People are interested in what we're talking about, and as we're out there trying our best to lose weight, people are curious as to about what we're eating. And so do you think the lady keyed in on the fact that we ate bacon, or do you think she keyed in the fact that we were having a tense conversation? And when would you ever look at a stranger and go, your secrets are not your own? It was weird. It was bizarre. I love my life. It is so cool. And again, you know, most interactions are wonderful. Sometimes they're not. And if I've ever rubbed you the wrong way, I apologize. And never my intention. I'm just a dude. Jenny's just a gal. We're just trying to do our best to navigate this crazy cruise life that we've, you know, basically helped build for ourselves. So yeah, grateful and weirded out at the same time. I don't know if anybody understands that, but maybe you do. But yeah, thanks. I hope you found these stories interesting. I know people like the behind the scenes stuff. We get asked a lot about being recognized, and so there you go. Leave a comment below. Thank you so much for checking out the show. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Big thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring today's show. And if you're new here and you want some more of this craziness, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. This is Tony for Lido, Loca, bringing you that cruise life. And until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido.